Saturday. Hope you guys are doing well. So an update here. Jada had a lock-in thing until midnight. So was up picking her up at midnight. We didn't get home until 12:30, and then she was gone again by like 7:45. We left the house. So it's been a night with not a lot of sleep, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll get through it. Anyways, today we're talking about handling emotions um, for moving, because sometimes a move, which is a huge life transition, can bring up a lot of big emotions. And it's something that I've been walking through right now as we are doing all the transitions, and it's getting very real. Our move isn't for 2 months out yet, but our house is getting empty, as you can see behind me. And like I knew it was coming. Our family knew it was coming, but now it's like real. Now it's here. So it's been bringing up some emotions for me. And I figured I would share them with you in case that you are walking through some big emotions too, as things in life are changing. Okay. So the first thing I do when I have big emotions is I think about, is this emotion mine or someone else's? I do a very good job at borrowing emotions. And that's, some people refer to it as like being an empath, like you feel and you take on other people's emotions. I I tend to, like, if somebody's like feeling really frustrated, I like pretty soon I'm like feeling frustrated for them and I'm carrying their emotion. So the first thing I do is like, okay, is this mine to carry? Is this what I'm actually feeling, or am I feeling this for somebody else? That's the first question I ask myself when I'm feeling big emotions, because sometimes it may be somebody else in my family is feeling really stressed out and worried, or wondering about how they're gonna transition from their friend groups and stuff like that, which I can support them, but me being stressed out and worried too isn't going to help, right? Me being present is going to help. So the awareness of that is really helpful. The second thing I ask myself is, what is the root cause? So if I'm not borrowing somebody's emotions, what is the root cause of this big emotion that's coming up in my life right now? And for me, if I'm going to be real honest here, I have had a lot of, I don't know if it's dread, but like a lot of like fear about moving again. And here's why: because I've like overcome this homesickness, and I'm on the other side of all those things. But this move is, we're moving back. We're moving back to where we've already been. We're moving um, into a town that we've lived in there for 6 years, and the emotions that I'm feeling is based in fear for me. It is my fear of, what if I settle? What if I stop growing? Because being in a new location grows you, right? And I kind of like when things are a little bit uncomfortable, because then I know that I'm continuing to grow. So I've had a lot of fear and big emotions coming back to, what if I get stagnant here? What if I settle into the life? What if I step back into the life that I had for 6 years and I continue that? Like, so that's the root of that fear. So if I were to just address like, hey, I'm feeling really anxious and I'm worried about this move, and not get down to the root of it, then I wouldn't have as good a chance of actually handling it. So then I can look at what the root is. Okay, what are the next steps that I'm going to take, right? I'm going to continue to do my personal growth. I'm going to continue to make choices that challenge me and scare me. I'm going to continue to chase my dreams, even though I'm in a location that I've been in before. So when you're thinking through the big emotions that come up, don't think on the top level, if that makes sense. Like, don't think like, okay, I'm feeling frustrated. Be like, okay, what is the root cause? Why am I feeling frustrated? Is it an expectation I'm holding, or is it an expectation somebody else didn't express? Like, there's lots of different ways that you can just work down, keep asking yourself questions until you get to the root of why this emotion is here. Okay. And the third thing that I've been doing is I've been putting on a lot of release oil. And so when I have these emotions and I'm like, okay, I don't want to stay in this state, I do deep breathing and release oil. I actually put a roller bottle on it, you can like roll it, but I'll put release oil on my back, behind my ears, so I can smell it throughout the day. I'll put it on my wrist because your skin on your wrist is really thin, so it can absorb well. And take a lot of deep breaths, and that helps me move through those emotions. So once I'm saying, hey, is this mine? Okay, if it is mine, what's the root cause? So now you're looking at the root problem, and then the release oil just helps me to move through that emotion and get to the other side and let it go. So I did place my link in the description if you're like, oh my gosh, that's what I need. But anyways, I've been talking with a lot of people about the emotions of the move. And some people have said like, oh my gosh, yes, it's a roller coaster, or I thought I would be in my ideal location and then I'm not, and I'm having a hard time adjusting. So whatever part of the move you're in, whether you're thinking about the move, whether you're in the midst of moving all your things from one place to another, or you're after the move and dealing with the reality that life doesn't look like what I thought it was going to look like. These 3 steps can be a really good way to handle those emotions and to move through them, because ultimately you need to move through them. Otherwise, they just stay hanging around, right? And we don't want that. We want to move on, live our best lives, and be happy, right? And live life to the fullest. So I am off. We're going to go do some family activities today. We have 2 different events, one starting at 1 and one starting at 6:30 today that I'm going to do with the boys while Jade is off at her event today. And then Ethan's going to be hunting later on today. So he's going on in a few hours. So we have a good, fun-filled weekend, and I hope you guys do too. And I will talk to you soon. See you later.